Hello everybody again. I think the camera's at that end. Well, so it's Easter Sunday. Third time today, so you're going to have plenty of me. Easter Sunday. Jesus died for our sins and rose on the third day, which I believe is today. I think I've got that the right way round. I bloody should. They rammed it down our throat at school a lot. And I wanted to make a video about sinners. Firstly, I am a sinner. I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me over anything that's happened in my life. I literally have no regrets of any decisions that I've made in my life. Not a single one. I'm indulging in, I've run out of wine, and actually I ran out of food as well. I always do at Easter. I forget it's Easter, and of course this is a Catholic country and everything closes for ages, so I'm resorting to using the dregs of something called, it's odd, it's got the word sober in it. Soberano. See that? Got it with a ton of ice. Every year I forget it's Easter. And I've been thinking a lot today about sinners, and yeah, I'm a sinner. A total sinner. I think that's what I really fucking hate about narcissists. Like Markle, she pretends she's perfect. Oh, I'm fucking perfect. Are you, Markle? Well done for you. Or our narcissistic psychopath, of which I did a video, an extensive one today, and I've only scratched the surface on that. I mean, I haven't even mentioned the 2 cats that went missing and one was killed. Yeah, that was none of my kids' kittens. Anyway, I get off the subject. We've got plenty of time, I suppose, to talk about that later. I think I spoke about it before in an earlier video years ago. You can always look that one up. Narcissists, I don't understand them. I really don't. They think they're fucking perfect, or they pretend they're perfect. Or like, do you ever get into a row with someone on the internet and in order for them to elevate themselves, let's elevate. Interesting that Markle uses that turn of phrase, isn't it? Oh, let's elevate it. They'll either pull you up on your spelling mistakes or your grammatical errors or something like that, so they can elevate themselves above you. I'm like, oh, fuck off. Why you got to be like that? You know, we are all sinners. And Jesus died for our sins and then rose again. Although I never really understood that bit. I don't know where he went in the days he was... I'm not getting religious. It's just, it is Easter. So, being a good Christian, in light of Jesus. Here you go, Jesus. Cheers. Please don't take offence. If you're really Christian, please don't. I'm not being blasphemous. I'm being serious. That's one of the things I loved about Graham, that he would always admit he was fallible, you know. We all are. Why do these narcissistic pricks who walk amongst us have to pretend that they're fucking perfect? Or when you get into an argument with someone on the internet, or anybody for that matter, they're always got to be so hoi polloi. Fucking marvellous, me. I'm perfect. Well, I've done plenty in my life. God, there isn't a video long enough that I could cover all the mistakes that I've made. And as I say, I don't regret a single one because, you know, beg, borrow, steal, you got to pay the rent. For example, let's say hypothetically, there's a young girl living in a basement flat and suddenly presented with an £800 a month gas bill because some twat fucking... thought it would be a good idea to tell the gas board that the gas consumption was way higher to get ahead of the game, but then the gas board estimated it, a 1-bedroom flat, at £800 a month, and they stood by that no matter how many meter men she had come and check it. So then there's a threat, immediate threat at the door. We're gonna cut your gas off, or the mortgage. Oh God, the mortgage. You lose your job, can't pay the mortgage, government won't help. I'm talking years back, before minimum wage, before any rights, you know, John Major territory, the deep, dark recession of the early 90s. What are you going to do? You don't want to let your parents down. What are they going to think? You don't want your parents to know jack shit about what crap you're going through. You don't want them to know that you're actually an utter failure at everything. Yeah. Add to the mix a boyfriend who wants to use your address for whatever purpose, running up debt, ripping people off. You go along with some things, you don't go along with other things. You just end up following a path and going, okay, I'll take the blame, I'll take the blame, or yeah, I did that, no, I didn't do that. Add to the mix a ton of coppers who, young girl, not me, old lady, well, not old lady, but I'm 55, fancy a young girl, want to shag a young girl. When you're a law student, and I was at one point, got my A-level in law, and I did embark on a degree course with London University. The very first thing they ask you to do as a law student is write an essay about the law and morality. It's the first thing any law student, any decent law student tell you. That's the first thing you're asked to do. Does the law have anything to do with morality? Well, in an ideal scenario, yeah. That's what the law is supposed to be about. Judge Warby. But then the law loses its way. So, yeah, in reality, no. No, the law has very little to do with morality. The law is an animal all of its own, as I'm sure a lot of people watching can understand. I won that GDPR argument, the data protection argument, against the Gibraltar Regulatory Authority. I won it, I'll tell you how. When I was up before Liam Yates arguing my case to keep this recording of this man saying these most terrible things, 59 minutes and 39 seconds of this horrifying crap of this man just defaming my family horribly. I'll tell you how I won. I stood up in front of Liam Yates and I said, if a burglar burgles your house and your CCTV has videoed them doing it, it would be the same for that burglar to ask that their privacy was encroached upon by your CCTV filming them committing the criminal act. And I said, I do realise that the laws in Gibraltar with data protection command I delete the recording. But what I would ask you, Liam Yates, is to apply equity law. Now, equity is a very, very tiny, weeny part of law. It's basically called the golden thread that runs through the law when the law has gone astray, to bring it back to morality. And it worked. Liam listened to what I said. He'd been big into prosecution, and he agreed that that recording, no matter how inconvenient, how that recording came to be, was a defective tape recorder. I was entitled to keep it in order to sue, because the man was just talking shit. But the law and morality, I went on that old video from like 16 years ago that I made about the bank charges, and I saw someone a few years ago had commented and said, oh, you should have read all the little small print before. I was charged like hundreds of pounds on an illegal overdraft. Oh, you'd have to watch it. I guess I could pin a comment so you could go watch it, how I was ripped off. But you'll see I was tired. I had 2 small children. I was busy. I'm holding down a cleaning job. Graham's getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. All this time. And Gordon Brown bailed out the banks. And this person kind of, pontificating, I should have read the terms and conditions. Well, yeah, I guess I fucking would if I hadn't have been dying of exhaustion from having 2 small children, living on a boat about this fucking big. Yeah, maybe I would have read all the teeny weeny print on the bank conditions. Oh my God. I don't actually really know where I'm going with this. I feel I definitely was never perfect. And I definitely did invite the police into my life indirectly. And but the early 90s recession, that was a harsh animal on police officers, because I had this boyfriend who was a prolific car thief at the time living in my flat. Oh, they loved to turn up. Oh, they were full of it. We should have thought about that before you broke the law and all that. And I used to look at them. Honest to God, I used to look at them in their suits, which I suppose on reflection weren't particularly expensive. But I used to look at them and think, well, at least you can afford a suit, you know. I can't afford dinner. And they'd be pontificating and yapping at me about how fucking perfect they were and what a sinner I was. And I thought, oh yeah, I am a sinner. And I'd look at them and think, you're like breastfeeders off the taxpayer, aren't you? What do you earn a year? I forgive me, any police officer, serving police officers now, I'd look at them and think, well, you fucking get paid loads, don't you? And all right, it's a thankless task being a police officer. If they're out there arresting axe murderers and muggers and old ladies, or maybe banks, or other evil sons of bitches. In a minute, Kat, I'll let you in. But you're sitting here in my flat going on at me, and then, you know, half of them wanted to shag me back in the day. God knows why. And I just think, God, you've got it lucky. I actually applied to join the police, and they come out with some lame excuse, you know, no, you can't get in, something to do with body mass ratio, which was a load of shit, because basically they didn't want me. And so there I was, trying to hold down my flat. I was stuck in that flat, 10 years, negative equity because of the government. You know, the government. Oh, all right. What's an interest rate? I thought to myself, as a young girl. What's an interest rate? It said on the news. Black Wednesday. What's that all about? Oh, probably won't affect me. You know, I was an idiot. Oh, I lost my job. Interest rate, 17%. What the fuck? It was 17% for about 48 hours. Then they dropped it to 15%. I mean, just bear in mind today, whatever the fucking interest rate is now. Mortgage is really expensive, endowment payments and all that. Yeah, well, I used to sit there in debt and think, how am I going to pay the mortgage, the equity payment, the gas, the water, all the opposite of what the Citizens Advice Bureau say to you. Put food first. I'll put that last. My boyfriend used to go shoplifting, but not as often, as little as possible. And I said to him in the end, if you can just get a block of cheese. So he used to go and shoplift one of these massive blocks of cheese. And between the two of us, we'd live off a block of cheese for 3 days. I am not exaggerating. 3 fucking days. I remember going to sleep hungry and eventually going to sleep. And it's just one of the most awful feelings to feel hungry all the time. All of the fucking time. And then when you do eat food, it's so satisfying, but then the fear kicks in towards the end of eating it. Where's the next meal going to come from? Oh, God, yeah. The early 90s recession, that was horrible. And my boyfriend at the time, I mean, I loved him and he was great. And he was survival, really into survival. And I don't think I'd have survived without him. Well, of course, he had court problems and police were always coming into my flat. And that's how I got entangled with them. And, of course, me being me, character I am. I mean, for example, the police went to visit him in prison during one stint, and they said, well, you can do what's known as write-offs. It's where they want to clear up a crime rate. So they go and visit a prisoner and they present them with a whole list of crimes, and they say, can you admit you did this, 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 and this? And there's no sentence, no consequence for the person. But they get a visit and they get a couple of perks. So my ex-boyfriend, he had written off, oh, fuck me, loads of crimes. But what happened to him is he did end up with a consequence. They slapped him with a £6,000 compensation order to give to victims. Well, some of these crimes were committed on one side of Birmingham, a couple of 100 miles away from the other side of the West Midlands, at the same time. So he couldn't physically have committed both crimes, and he'd agreed to write off all these things. I mean, some of them, they'd had their doggy old car nicked. Oh, by the way, it had a diamond ring in the back that was worth 10 grand. I want to make a claim. You know, law and morality. Some people know how to work the law and some people don't. Well, I fought that one for him, and I did win, but in the end he wouldn't go to the actual hearing, so it fell through. But I did prove that he couldn't possibly have committed these crimes, and because compensation order, it's not like a fine. If you've got a comp order, you go to prison, and then when they let you out, if you still don't pay it, you can go to prison again and you don't pay it, and they can send you, and they can do that for the rest of your life. So anyway, I got him relinquished of that eventually. It's just liars, you know, people lie. Oh yeah, oh, I was robbed. Oh yeah, there was, you know, £10 million in a suitcase in the corner of the room and all that. I don't like any of that. I mean, I've had insurance claims and people have said, oh, you should add this and you should add that. And I go, that's bloody, no, that's really naughty. That's illegal. That's dishonest. You must never do things like that. No. Anyway, well, as I say, there have been times in my life when needs must, and you do shit. You do shit and you say shit, and I don't regret a single fucking word of it. But if you ask me, there is no relation between the law and morality. None whatsoever. And least of all, these days, it just seems non-existent. It's like the more honest a person is, for some reason, the more they're punished. Isn't it? So the ones that are honest, they're the easy targets. You know, you put your real name in your face up. Oh, yes, sir, I don't like... That's it, you know. Get lightning and thunder bolts, don't you? That was always my problem in the first place. God, it felt good to sink my fangs into that narcissistic twat today. Fucking 10 years of stress that twat did. Anyway, so yeah, I think it is important for people to keep things in proportion and to realise that, and it would be lovely if people were able to speak openly and freely about their faults and things they've done. And God bless Jesus for dying for all our sins. And I am a sinner. God forgive my sins. But as I say, I don't have regrets because, well, I've never hidden anything. I think actually for one of the most dishonest people, I'm probably one of the most honest people I've ever come across. And Graham was like me, exactly like me. He was the same. He was like, I'm a drug smuggler. You know, so what? Cannabis. Let's get it in proportion, cannabis. He hated heroin. Hated it. For obvious reasons, because of his eldest daughter. He went to prison. She was an innocent 13-year-old. He got out of prison. She was hooked on heroin. And a load of men taking advantage of her. The law and morality bear no relation to each other. None whatsoever. And it's becoming more and more of a chasm, isn't it, as time goes by? I see that more and more. Anyway, I'm going to watch a video about Elizabeth Montgomery. Look at that. For some reason, Liz keeps popping up on my timeline. All the time. I don't know why. I mean, I love Liz Montgomery. I really do. But I don't know why. Her life story has just popped up, so I'm going to go and watch that. Just thought I'd say this for posterity. Because it does feel like, you know, in the world, cancel culture and everything, it's like someone gets accused of racism or something, that's it, you're over, that's it, you're over. It's all so one-dimensional or two-dimensional. Like, one person is all the bad guy or another person is all the good guy, like a pantomime. Yeah, boo, like Graham was saying. And life just isn't that straightforward. Life is, well, my father used to say, it's just the rich tapestry of life, Fiona. And I guess everybody goes through it. Hate the pantomime thing. I never really liked pantomime stuff. Unless it's Meghan and Harry. Because we all know they're 100% bastards. They are, actually. Anyway, this is Good Evening's chat for Graham on his other channel. And I don't know, you probably won't see me for days. Maybe, maybe not. Cheers. Happy Easter.